Hello, Robotics Notes fans, and happy November 11th, 11/11. It is 1:17 in the morning, and it's time for another episode of Robotics Notes Elite Like Animal Crossing. Fun fact about today. If you look at the thumbnail, this is going to be the smallest date on the thumbnail, because 1 is the smallest with character. And for the dates that have a single digit, I put a 0 in front of them. So 01 is going to be bigger than 11. So this is the smallest date because it's 4 of the smallest character. There you go. Trivia. Nice. Let's load the data. Robot Clinic. AKIHO POV. It's already 5:01 p.m. Hot dog. Sparks scatter about. Welding these thick iron plates is my job. The work involves carefully connecting the iron plates in a shape that as directed by the blueprints. If I slack on this, the overall strength would take a hit, causing damage once assembled. So I'm being extra careful. Despite how I might look, I'm pretty experienced at this sort of thing. I've been helping with welding at the robot clinic since Gun Build 1. Honestly, I'm pretty confident that I'd do really well if I went to work at a local factory. Ah, I know. Even if I don't go to college, I can make a living working somewhere like Kamada Motors. Old man Kamada can't refuse me if I really beg him. He's kind of a pushover. I'm sure I could pressure him into hiring me. Alright, that'll be my last resort. And so I continue to focus on my welding work. That's when I feel a light pat on the back. I stop and raise my head. Subaru looks grumptastic. What's wrong? Prez, Doc is calling for you. Where is he? Outside. Doc collapsed in September due to illness and went to Kagoshima for surgery last month. He got discharged from the hospital about 10 days ago, but he already seems more energetic than ever. Remember how he berated me for wanting to make Gun Build 2? Yeah, about that. Now it's the exact opposite. Not that I'm complaining. I'm not banned from the clinic anymore. If anything, you could probably argue that Doc's been on a bit of a rampage lately. What are you gonna do? I mean, I have to go. I sigh and stand up. I make my way outside. It's nice out today, warm enough to get by in short sleeves despite it being November. Tell me about it. It's 52 right now, which is like pretty chilly, but like it's 1:20 in the morning. It should be at least like in the 40s. But the sun sets early now. It's only around 5, but the sky is already stained orange. I've been sitting and working for a while now, so my back hurts a little. I look up at the dusk sky and stretch out my back. Yo, what took you so long? Doc is waiting with a grin on his face. He smiles a lot more now. He's not so grumpy these days. I guess he's kind of softened up, sorta. What's up? Take a look at this. Doc pushes a cart from the scrapyard out back. In the cardboard box on top of it is a unique looking part. It's shaped like a bowl, but it's real big. It could probably hold 30 times as much rice as your average bowl. What do you think it is? A parabolic antenna? Subaru, what are you talking about? Have you gone blind? I'm sure you know Robot Club. Doc looks at me, grin and all. Before I answer, can you explain why you call Subaru by his name but insist on calling me Robot Club? You know I have a name, right? Don't sweat the details. I call the president of the Robot Club Robot Club. That's just how it works. If you got a problem with that, quit being the president. That's ridiculous. Anyway, don't change the subject. I asked you what this is. A vernier thruster? I knew I could count on you, Robot Club. He cheerfully laughs and pats my shoulder. That's exactly right. This is a homemade vernier thruster. This'll go on Model 2, and we are so not putting that on it. I cut Doc off before he can finish. Gunbuild 2 isn't going to fly or even jump. Then modify it so it can fly. Gunbuild 2 wasn't built for that. If it flew, its legs would get crushed when it landed. Now, hold your horses. Doc interrupts me. The Space Center has a facility for rocket engine combustion tests, right? Just borrow the joint. I'll provide fuel, and I told you we're not attaching a vernier thruster. Then how about we attach it to Model 1? Gunbuild 1's too heavy to fly, and how would we control its altitude? That's outside of my field of expertise. Wow, you straight up admitted it. Listen, giant robots and vernier thrusters go together. You of all people should get that, Robot Club. I get it, I super do. I nod as hard as I can. Subaru flashes me a cold glare. But that's only in robot anime. Gunbuild 2 doesn't have the ability to fly. If we built it under the assumption it would fly, sure, we would need vernier thrusters, but we didn't. Sorry, I'm just imagining. I'm just imagining Akiho nodding as hard as she can, just full force nodding. Then it doesn't have to fly. Huh? It doesn't have to fly. Just do fuel injection with the vernier thrusters. By the way, we'll be attaching a total of 10 vernier thrusters. 6 on the back? Hell no, 4. And 3 on each calf? Talk about high mobility. Try imagining the form. Super thick legs. The calves would be thicker than the thighs. I'm getting hyped up. We could give it a hover function while we're at it, and move it around with the vernier propulsion. Not bad, right? He's me as a springboard. In that case, we should paint the body black and purple to... Subaru clears his throat as obviously as possible. What are you two talking about? The black tri-stars. Utter nonsense. Subaru's cold gaze quickly returns me to my senses. Right, yeah, that's nonsense. Doc, we're not equipping it with vernier thrusters. I really mean it. You kids are lame. If you have time to make vernier thrusters, make the parabolic antenna. One with a clean mirror surface and no distortions. How much? Huh? I'll do it for the right price, but it's gonna cost you. My ridiculous order comes with an equally ridiculous price. I recoil and flee into the store. Doc's gotten too energetic. Agreed. It's actually kind of a pain. Plus, he keeps bringing up ideas that he totally knows hit my strike zone. Ugh, we can't underestimate Doc. I never knew he was such a mad scientist. I too thought he was more of a serious engineer. I'm quite disappointed. The stupidity radiating off the two of you while you talked made me dizzy. I dare you to say that to his face. I refuse. Subaru sits down on a stool, a composed expression on his face. Besides, how are you so calm when Model 2's assembly is so far behind schedule? Well, I'm sure things will work out as long as we all combine our powers. Plus, the processing of parts is already about 60% complete. Once assembly begins in earnest, we'll be done in no time. Yep. In that case, I recommend going to persuade Frugori immediately. For the drive system, an electric motor or a hydraulic motor? Sorry. We still haven't decided, so we can't move forward. I get it. We're waiting on Doc to finish his tests, right? You really think that's going to be usable? If you put all your eggs into one basket, that thing ends up being a bust. Just gonna be more work. The thing that Subaru is talking around, well, it's the monopole that Kai found. When Doc got discharged 10 days ago, I made up my mind and tried discussing the strange material with him. What the hell is this? A monopole, or so I've been told. I've never seen such a ridiculous thing in my whole life. I'm damn shocked you've been carrying this around. It could explode and take all of Tanegashima with it. Is it seriously that dangerous? Hell if I know. How could I? This is a first in human history. I think we could use this for Gunbuild 2's electric motor. Did you look into it? It's in secret from JAXA. Please. Now this is what I'm talking about. I never thought I'd ever get this excited at my age. Looks like that surgery was completely worth it. And you want me to look into this thing in secret? Don't blame me if you regret it. If this is really a monopole, it might be a double-edged sword or a Pandora's box. That's how ridiculous this could be. Naturally, if word of its existence leaked, it could cause conflict on a global scale. This little sucker could bring vast wealth, but it could also bring enough misery to make all of that worthless. Are you sure about this? Yeah. If we can use it to move Gunbuild 2, let's do it. I don't know if you're fearless, got nerves of steel, or you're just plain stupid. Once the expo is over, we're gonna bring it to a proper research organization. And I only plan to use it for Gunbuild 2. Alright, give me some time. Also, make this Robot Club's little secret. Don't go telling anyone else. Definitely not that bastard Mitsuhiko. He's a goddamn idiot. I'll let you know when I'm done looking into it. Until then, don't even mention the monopole to me. Got it. And so we've been waiting for Doc to finish his research. Whether we'll be able to use the monopole in an electric motor, that'll have a huge effect on the drive system. But we gotta convince Fraubo to help us. Subaru nods. 1 second, everybody. Whether Model 2 moves or not is completely dependent on its programming. No matter what the research results are, Fraubo is the one who's going to write the programming in the end. If Fraubo doesn't do the work, Gunbuild 2 will never be complete. Her role is huge. I've already attempted to get her help on multiple occasions, but Fraubo's completely closed herself off as of late. I mean, she was always a shut-in, but now it's even worse than before. She's pretty close with Kai, but he says that she won't even let him in these days. I honestly have no idea what those two get up to when they're alone. Not to mention the expo inspection is next month. General public giant robot entries have 2 inspections, one 2 months prior and one right before. It's a special rule for this year's expo. The first inspection only requires us to send in a video. We need to show the robot moving properly and explain our theme for it. As president, I'll be the one handling the latter. That's a written submission. By the way, I've decided on the theme. Bringing all of humanity peace and courage through the power of love and justice. So, how is it? What do you think? Sounds like a robot anime, right? It's nonsense. What an overplayed ancient concept. What is this, the Stone Age? Are you even taking this seriously? Why does he have to be so merciless? There's no way this punk has any friends. Anyway, putting that aside, gotta do something about Fraubo. What can I even do? I'm not feeling too confident about this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is another episode of Robotics Notes Elite Like Animal Crossing. I will see you all on the 13th for another episode of Robotics Notes Elite Like Animal Crossing. But until then, Nochio!